They should really make the mugs bigger.
Stay back! Back! I will not die like the others. You think I do not know? I know. I have heard the stories. Rhaegar, Gilnanor, and now Skaldir? All dead at your hand, no doubt. Well, I am too clever for you, Shadow Weaver. Try to touch me and my wards will tear you apart! I don't. All right. I'm sorry. I'll come out. By the egg. You remind me of my sister, Zarai. She is a wonderful person, but when she gets mad, I'd rather tangle with an angry hackwing. How do you know about the shadows? Yes, of course. Zarai will put me in a very bright room. Or should it be a very dark room? I cannot take this kind of stress. Look, my scales are falling out. Thank you. And Bonifred, tell her I am sorry I doubted her dedication in the past. Yes, I know I will. If you have spoken to Bonifred, you must know about our research into the Daedric artifact. Please, take my notes. Preferably far, far away. I hid them in those roots over there. I am sure that is what these shadows want.
You who would unravel the secret of these murderous shadows, approach me. Do not be alarmed. Only you can see me. I am Lilatha, Psijic Master of the Gazing Glass. I have watched you from afar, and I believe we share the same goal. You seek to destroy these vengeful shadows, yes? I believe we can help each other. All the Shadow's victims were seeking a Daedric artifact, an extraplanar antiquity that remains hidden from my sight. To solve these murders, we must first locate the artifact. I require 2 objects to find it. An Anuic lantern and a liminal lens. I believe the lantern lies hidden in a sunken ship near Canarthi's roost. The lens rests in a coffer, deep within the howling sepulchres. Recover the items, then seek out my boat near Vulcal Guard. Trust no one. Our enemies are very well hidden. I am sorry we can't have this conversation in person. I fear that I'm too tempting a target for this shadowy killer. I must remain hidden. You have questions? I urge you to keep them brief. There's no telling when our enemy will strike again. Yes. I take it that you're unfamiliar with our order. That's hardly a surprise. We once served as advisors and teachers to the greatest kings and emperors, but no longer. we retreated to our hidden Isle of Artaeum, content to study in seclusion. Indeed. It's an island beyond Tamriel's borders, where we can research the truths of the Orbis without interruption. That is the purpose of the Psijic Order, after all, to study magic for the betterment of all. There are worrying signs, portents that cannot be ignored. I fear that a Daedric threat looms over Tamriel. Nothing so crude and obvious as the plane melt. No, it's something hidden. And I suspect that this Daedric artifact may hold some answers. They are critical components of an ancient Psijic mechanism known as the Obscuros. The Obscuros is a scrying device. It magnifies a mage's perception and projects their visions for all to see. A powerful tool indeed. When my order retreated to Artaeum, we scattered the device's components to prevent it from being misused. I'm afraid I can't say. The forces arrayed against us are too mysterious. They may have found a way to listen in. I can't risk divulging the Obscuros' location. Collect the items, and I promise, my boat will be waiting for you in Vulcal Guard. Indeed. A self-steering vessel of my own design. Climb aboard, and the enchantment I've placed on it will bring you to me directly. It's quite safe, I assure you. Very little. Daedric artifacts are notoriously difficult to track. Some misguided soul may discover one and wield it for a time, but it always vanishes eventually, sometimes for a week, sometimes for centuries. Oh yes. Items of power always introduce some measure of peril to the world. This is doubly true with Daedric artifacts. They exist to carry out the dark intentions of their creators, you see. They turn even the best intentions to malice eventually. That is the question, isn't it? I trained for centuries on the Isle of Artaeum, briefly under Sothasil himself. Yet still this artifact eludes me. Vexing is the word. Either this artifact is shrouded by a powerful ward, or it isn't here. It might be tucked away in a pocket plane, or caught in some orbit Gaia, bouncing between worlds. Impossible to say. That's why I need the lantern and the lens.
Vice Canon Hrondar hasn't picked up his mead cask in a while.
I'm not crying.
Wonder what's wrong.
Something in both my eyes. Anything you can do.
Don't leave yet. Are you really going to climb aboard this death trap? Just hold a moment and think it through. Would you believe pluck and intuition? Yeah, didn't think so. I may look the part, but I'm no bloodhound. Truth is, I slipped a sporing coin into your pocket before you left Mournhold. A sporing coin. It's an enchanted drake. Looks mundane, but it bears a charm that we can track. You don't approve? Look, we can argue about that later. For now, I can't let you get on this boat alone. It's too dangerous. Let me go with you. Smart. 2 heads are better than 1. Especially when one of those heads is as hard as mine. Let's hop to it, eh? It's about time we got some answers.
Campfire on the beach. I still don't see the appeal. Ah, you've arrived. Welcome to Dranil Kier. Let's get in out of the rain, shall we? I trust you brought the items I requested. The scrying chamber is just up the hill. Follow me. The weather here is always poor. A side effect of the Obscurus's presence, I'm told. Come, it's just through here. I'm confident that the components you brought will fit, but the Obscuros device has been dormant for... Let's hope that the genius of my forebears has stood the test of time. Affix the lantern and the lens. The answers we seek are within our grasp. Do you feel that chill? It's like... Oh no! What's happening to me? You must kill the shadow! Hurry!
I knew you were stubborn, but that won't save you from me. You'll die just like the rest.
No, I will not perish here. No, I will not perish here.
You underestimate me. Just...
I will not perish here. Victory at last. Set the lens and the lantern in the Obscuros. Slay them! I'll mend your wounds. Fabricant? I don't... No. This cannot be. The city was sealed long ago. What is this creature? Some new Daedric beast? The Clockwork City. Could it be? After all this time? The images revealed by the Obscuros leave little room for doubt. The Daedric artifact we seek is somewhere inside the Clockwork City. Why would Sothasil allow such an item to enter his domain? I fear that something terrible has happened. You did? Then all of creation owes you a debt, my friend. It was nocturnal, wasn't it? The shadows and conspiracy. I should have seen it sooner. The Daedric artifact, is it safe? 'Devaith fear? I would not have expected that. That Telvanni mage cares little for anyone besides himself. Then again, I know Sothasil to be both wise and prudent. He would not give Fear the artifact without cause. I must trust in Set's judgment. I will inform the Psijic Rightmaster. Nocturnal's intrigues in the Clockwork City cannot be the end of her plot. A greater scheme is brewing, I know it. We must be prepared. In the meantime, please take this, and my thanks. I wish I could take a moment to rest. This experience has taken a considerable toll on me. Unfortunately, there's not a moment to lose. Nocturnal prepares for another strike, I'm sure of it. Well, no one really knows Sothasil. Not even the other members of the Tribunal. I studied under him for a time. He was patient, surprisingly attentive. The perfect teacher in many respects. Even so, I never really felt that I knew him. Beyond the obvious? Not much. I can tell you he's nothing like Vivek. He never spoke about himself, or the Dark Elf faith. I always got the sense that he, well, resented isn't the right word. He just seemed ambivalent about that part of his life. Only obliquely, and mostly in metaphor. It's his primary pursuit now. Some say it's his obsession. You see, despite all his power, there is a melancholy to him. It's unfortunate, but not surprising. True wisdom always brings some measure of despair. I must admit, I'm unaccustomed to discussing such matters with people outside our order, but I think you've more than earned the privilege. Rightmaster Iakasis directs the Psijics. He rivals Sothasil in wisdom, if not in power. Something like, yes. The old ways give little credence to such titles. What is a god other than an exceptionally powerful agent? Anyway, power is overrated. Wisdom is the true measure of a person. In that regard, Iakasis is great indeed. Someday, perhaps. The Psijic Order's Isle of Artaeum is no longer here. It may return in time, but for now, you'd probably have an easier time reaching Aetherius or realms beyond. The Order values solitude, much like Sothasil. I wish I could say yes. I fear that in destroying my shadow, we've destroyed some vital piece of my animus. I feel thin, diminished. A weakened Psijic is still a formidable mage, but something is definitely broken. Best not to think about it. So you knew our attacker? She was powerful indeed, and yet I sensed that the strength was not her own. Her form was clumsy, but she struck with the power of a master wizard. Usually I'd suspect possession, but with her, I'm not so certain. Someone granted her powers beyond her ken. An agent of oblivion, no doubt. Bonifrid was clearly filled with hatred, consumed by jealousy or resentment, perhaps. The Daedra can twist those passions into untold horrors. I pity her. I wish I could take a moment to rest. This experience has taken a considerable toll on me. Unfortunately, there's not a moment to lose. Nocturnal prepares for another strike, I'm sure of it.